Sorry. Get this hard candy up. Hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. I like that song a lot. That's from the new Linkin Park album coming out. I do want to say that it's a little bit concerning that everyone around me is backsliding into League of Legends addiction at the same time as a new Linkin Park album comes out. It feels to me like it's like the Mayans predicted this. This is like 2012, bro. This is like, I feel like there's going to be a solar eclipse and we're going to, something's happened. Something will, I'm a little concerned. The millennials yearn for the mines. Yeah, it is. It's some sort of millennial code. League of Legends gaining player base. Linkin Park album. Maybe we even get a fucking recession. Well, it'll be like post 2008. It'll be a weird. Hey, Atrioc, your fit makes you look like you're about to shoot a round of golf at Trump's golf course. Is that what you said? Yeah, I'm just. I don't know if you guys follow, but Truth Social, as of Thursday, you're now allowed to sell your shares if you were part of the lockup period. So I'm just enjoying, you know. Finally got to dump. Did you sell? Of course, I'd never sell. I would never sell. That's what Trump said. We'll see. We'll see. I'll be very interested to see whether he sells or not. New Mozart piece just dropped. Wait, what? I sort of heard about this. Is this real? Mozart? New Mozart 2024? New Mozart just dropped. Lost manuscript reveals centuries-old music. The piece is a 12-minute long symphony written in C major. Okay, but it's not like it's on YouTube. It's just this. It's like, holy shit. Yeah, that fucks, dude. I can't play it. I don't have the skill. Who that working on it? Somebody's definitely played it on YouTube. Yeah, but how do I know they're not just making it up? I can't read music. New Mozart. Dude, it's everyone just okay. This is apparently it. This is apparently it, but I don't think this is real. But we'll see. Okay. 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 Let him cook. Oh! Oh, he still got it? He's got those? Damn, bro. You know, I've been a fan of Mozart's for a long time, back when he was still up and coming. And I like his early stuff more. I feel like he got too mainstream, too popular. He kind of sold out. But this kind of sounds like some of his early shit, you know? Like his early, before he got woke. You know what I'm saying? Is Mozart the Kendrick of the old days? Yeah, facts. This part's a Drake diss. Okay, I'm not going to do this whole bit for 11 minutes, but cool. They found new Mozart. That's what I'll say. Cool that they found new Mozart. Can't say much more than that, except for one thing. Actually, you guys have to fuck with the Mozart for a second. My Chipotle just arrived. Yeah, so actually, just listen to Linkin Park, okay? Listen to Linkin Park. Well, I don't even... Where's the fucking... Oh, my God. Okay. Just hold up for a second. Where the fuck? Okay. My dog's freaking out. My dog is freaking. Yeah, I like it. I'm excited for the album. I'm excited. Definitely got me feeling like I want to grind video games to it. It's giving me a weird. It's giving me a weird flashback. It's giving me a weird. Have you seen the Lena Khan 60 Minutes interview? I have not. So I've been. I'm going to tell some concert stories here in a second, because we did a live concert, and when I say we, I mean really it was me. You know, I did all of the performance and all of the setup and all of the sound check, and you know, I moved the stage around, and I audio tech, and yeah, yeah, I did all of it. So no, it was a lot of incredibly talented people who I'm going to shout out, and I'll tell the stories. But I basically probably talked to and shook the hand of and sometimes hugged every single person there, everybody, all the attendees and people. And I got, again, pretty fucking sick. So I'm still recovering. So I have not been reading too much. I read a lot actually today, but Twitch hygiene, yeah, well, everyone was fine. I don't think anyone was unclean, but it's just the way it works. So I want to watch the 60 Minutes interview. I have a couple of videos I want to watch too with you guys. One is about, let me see. I just want, so we can know. This one's about why men are leaving the workforce, which I think is super relevant. Basically just people no longer looking for jobs. Then there was one about, they changed the title. It's about WNBA salary, why the WNBA is improbable. And then there was one more about Europe and Chinese TV. So 3 things I wanted to watch. Well, it's not a negative thing about men. It's not. It's just an interesting phenomenon that men are leaving the workforce. I can't have you do this. Even if you're a sub, I have to time you out, but don't do it again. That's what's wrong with this country nowadays. What? Men? It's not parasocial. I've met you now. Were you at the show? It's not parasocial. I've met you now. Interesting. I will say, everyone was nice. Everyone at the show. Let me pull up a picture here for a second. So if you guys don't know, on Friday in San Diego, there was a live show. I'm trying to see if I can get like the perfect picture to sum it up. This is pretty good. There was a live show. We rented a venue in San Diego next to TwitchCon. We sold out tickets. Everyone showed up, and then people in the community did all the parody songs we've done over the years in the community, and it was fucking awesome. It was fucking incredible. It was unreal. It was so talented, and just a really, 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 really fun and good time. But a bunch of crazy things happened I want to tell you about. Parody. Well, they were originals. I'm sorry, but they're lyrics about coffee. They're all originals. Wait, no, I'm not. Atrioc Lily's not an original. It's a parody. That's the first one I'm thinking of. But yeah, they're comedy songs. And Ballad of a Backseater. Ballad of a Backseater is based on Hallelujah. It's also a parody. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a parody song. What are you talking about? What these songs only preach the truth. Maybe they are true. Anyway, it was extremely, extremely awesome. Here, I have some photos that I can show you. This is fine. I can just show these, right? I'm not leaking anything. Here. Yeah, it's fine. There's just nothing. So this is a gift they got me. Everyone who worked on it signed this cool thing that I'm going to put in the back. I'm going to install it in the background of the stream. There's this is the this is the part. Again, if you didn't watch it, we're gonna actually I wonder if I have clips I could show. Let me sell it almost in order, but this is the part where Hudat and Evan Gao came out dressed in cult robes and then set up a Bloons playing station and then made me play Bloons in front of the whole crowd while they played Popathon songs. It was like a mini Popathon 3. Understand that I had no idea about any of this going in. Just try to understand that from my POV. Popathon 3, yeah, you missed Popathon 2. You didn't see it? Man, fake fan. If you missed Popathon 2, I don't know what to tell you. You missed it. It was unreal. Some chat, like, Stressed here saw it. Fake ass fam. Okay, so anyway, let me tell you the story in order. Are you raw dogging the chips, no dip? I always do that. I always start out with a couple. If you get a Chipotle order and you have a bag of chips, the first thing you do is you pop a couple chips in to get it rolling. To warm up your palate for the Chipotle to come. You pop a couple chips to get, then you start putting the chips into the actual bowl. I don't even use a fork really. I try to use all the chips to eat get the job. This is a standard practice. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Okay, let me see. I want to pull up the live show. I want to find ideally the exact part where my mind left my body. And I had a disassociative experience. I had a truly out of body experience. I'm going to try and find it. But I don't want to take too long, so I'll give you an approximation. It might have been like right here. Okay. Anyway, so a little background, okay, before we just jump into this. They approached me, the Atriarchy, the ACLU Discord, the community, ostensibly led by Ask Storyteller and Drop Spindle, but they have how many people? I mean, JPEX apparently did a fuck ton. And they had this idea to do a live show because they're all incredibly talented and they wanted to do it. And basically, if I would help support it financially, I didn't have to do any of the work. And that's the best thing for me. So just to be clear, before I go into any of all of this stories, I did nothing for it outside of pay for it. That's all I did. I just paid for it, and that's very easy to do. I'll just do a Rocket Money ad or something or whatever. This is all the hard work and talent of a bunch of like basically volunteers who are awesome, awesome people. Okay, I was part of the magic show. I did do a couple things on stage, but basically this is just incredibly talented people, and I got to meet them all, and they're all very nice. I think I remember everybody's name, but I might not. Don't hate me if I don't. It's a lot of people to meet all at once, and I was meeting people in the crowd too. So anyway, I drive down to San Diego, and I don't know exactly what to expect. I mean, we've had some meetings where they've just like confirmed some budget things with me and confirmed the venue, but I don't know what to expect. And I'm driving down. Thankfully, if you guys watched the dating stream with Rachel and Blur, you may know. Oh, you guys are, by the way, this is over my face cam. I drove down with Rachel, which is good because she's also, I mean, she watches the Clips channel and some of the main, but she's not deep in the community. And it was good to have an outsider perspective to go with me, and also from like my real world friends so someone else can verify this was real. I want to give you a through line. Throughout the whole night, I was sort of thinking like, no one's going to believe me. No one's going to, even the video is not going to do a justice of how strange this was. And so I kept thinking like, no one of like my friends in Arizona or whatever are going to truly believe me about what this was, especially as time puts it all in the distance. Like it's going to sound like I'm exaggerating or making it up or whatever. Or like my old NVIDIA coworkers. It's so strange because that was only like 2 years ago. I can't imagine telling someone there that this happened. It's so wild. It's so wild. I remember when, I'm going off on a tangent here, but I remember when I told my boss I might do a podcast as like a joke, like as like a little side thing, with Stans. And that podcast had like, 200 listeners. And I remember him saying like, yeah, podcast? What are you, some kind of podcaster? Why would you ever want to do any content thing? Like that was not that long ago. It's so funny. I don't know. It's weird how this all worked out. So anyway, I drive down with Rachel. Rachel, some of you are like this. Rachel is a really incredible person to be friends with, because, and I don't have this. Some of you might have this. They have the ability to be vulnerable very quickly in a relationship. Like, they don't hide. You know how some people will always hide their exact feelings on things? And it makes it, you have to like break down that wall until you actually have any honest discussion. She, even if you just meet her, will just tell you the truth about things and how she's feeling and all that. And because she is open to being honest about something like that, it makes you be more open. And then the conversation is it's just better. Anyway, yeah, more of an open book, but I'm not like that. Like if I'm talking to someone, I will give like, how you doing? I'm good. I'm not trying to burden nobody with my real thoughts on anything. I'm always like, whatever. So, it's refreshing. I don't know a lot of people that are truly like that. But she's very, and so like, so you just get a deeper conversation than just like boring, how's the weather or whatever, So that was nice. So it's a good conversation. We're going down there and we're also talking about how surreal this whole event is, which is cool because it puts me in the right mindset. And then I get there and I meet everybody working on the event, and they're all hard at work, and they're building out this fucking sick venue. The venue is super sick. Although I will say this. So the venue is like during the day, it's like a WeWork. It's like a co-working space. And then at night, it's like we rented the whole thing out. So I get there while it's still a WeWork, and it's like 3/4 of all the people running around are like glizzy, glizzy, glizzy. And then like, 1/4 of the people in there are like on their laptops. Like, what the fuck is going on? And they're doing rehearsals too. So you'll hear, they're like, I can hear the rehearsals and they're going like, I fell in love with a coffee cow. It's like, I hear him doing that. And then I see somebody like doing his taxes, in the corner. So it's like this very interesting vibe. And again, this is the first time I've met a lot of these people. A lot of people some of them are in the chat right now. And I've known their usernames, like Beautiful Panda here. I know their username and I see them maybe in a video that ACELU makes, but I've never met them. And so I'm just meeting everybody, putting face to names. I get to meet Ask for the first time. I get to meet Dropspinal for the first time. I get to meet, everyone, Confuzzled, everyone that's here. And so it's really cool and everyone's really nice. And, but what's funny is like, everyone's saying hi to me and everyone's like, super glad you're here, but they're all really focused and really busy. That's the first thing. I kind of thought, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Even though we had these pre-meetings, I kind of showed up and thought it would be way more scuffed. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's a streamer thing. It's community made. I thought it was going to be really scuffed and I would have to like, I don't know, carry more. I thought I'd have to like get up on camera and like keep things moving and tell some jokes. I don't know. I just thought I would have to do more. And they have like planned it down to the minute and done like 15 hours of rehearsals. It was like so professional. And the cool thing is how far everyone flew. So like, so many of them, like people came from Europe. Griever came from Europe. People are flying all over. So they're all busy. I don't know how to help. This is like, they're like, it's getting down to the wire. And one of the things I did to make it more fun was I had the idea of flying out Evan, Gao, and Houdat. Cause like, they're like the OGs, of like this whole like crazy, make insane stuff for the community, and it blows up. I thought it would be fun to have him out, and so I flew him out, and none of us three have anything to do. Me, Evan, Gow, and Houdat. So I'm like, let's just vibe. I got him an Airbnb. I'll just like, let's go get you checked in. And so we drive, Rachel's there too, and we drive to the Airbnb to go check him in. And on the way, I'm trying to do the Rachel thing. Because I found it to be so refreshing, and I'm like, I need to be less closed off. So I'm like, just trying to like ask Houdat and Evan Gow about their lives, and just be like totally open, like just like non-judgy, like what's going on. And I'm not leak anybody's shit, but like I'm hearing all their stuff, parasocial. Shut the fuck up, Houdat. Shut the fuck up. You were being vulnerable and honest too. Okay. Anyway, it was kind of cool. I got to hear more about their actual lives and what's going on, what struggles they're facing right now, which is cool. It's so funny that I care about what happens to Evan Gow. How he started was backflipping in front of my work. It's just so like I care about that guy. He's a good guy, and he's like going through some stuff, and it's like I really can't. It's fucking wild to me. Because my only initial interaction is that he was like bothering me at work. Anyway, I thought that was really funny. And we chill for a bit at the Airbnb. And then and then I fuck over everybody in our car because I'm like, anyone hungers? Are we hungry? Everyone's like, yeah, super hungry. And I'm like, all right. Well, there's this cool like food court I'm seeing on the map. There's like a cool food court with a bunch of different places. We can go there on the way. And they're like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. So I drive everybody there, and we get there, and it's not a food court. It's a fucking ghost kitchen. It's one squat little building that has like 19 fucking places out of the back. They're all, and so I'm like, all right, well, let's order from here. Everyone's looking through it, and they order whatever. And then I'm looking through the whole menu, and I'm like, this all looks kind of gross. I don't want any of it. So all of their food arrives, and I don't have any food. And they're like, aren't you going to eat? And I'm like, nah, I think I'll just get something at the food truck back at the the venue. And then they're like, wait, what food truck? I forgot they didn't know about that. I forgot they didn't know there was a food truck coming. So it's not a great story. It's a bit of a... Yeah, it's probably a YTA moment in hindsight. Probably a YTA moment. You're actually an asshole. It wasn't slop. What'd you get? I don't think it was slop. The burger was yummer. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. He got a burger. I also paid for it, by the way, which is a good payback for, well, it's not as much as the Chipotle you bought me. Anyway, we get back and the food truck's there, and I'm like, yes, yummers, after they already ate. And the food truck is a taco truck / hot dog truck. Yeah. Yeah. It's a fucking combination taco / hot dog truck. Now, the thing is, I eat tacos all the fucking time. I eat tacos almost every fucking day. I'm always having tacos. So I'm like stuck. I don't want to order another taco from this food truck, but I don't want to order a fucking hot dog because of the environment. I'm not like opposed to ever eating a hot dog, but it feels like the environment is not good for that. So unfortunately, because I'm very hungry and I don't want to eat a taco, I end up getting the hot dog, the fucking TJ dog or whatever. At which point, as you can imagine, everyone makes a big fucking deal of it in person. Everybody makes a huge fucking deal of it. And the truck is right next to all the line and everybody waiting to get in. They haven't let anybody in yet. So everybody's there. And this is all the attendees, you know? And I think we had a lot of people, as you can see from the, again, it's sold out. Where's the, you know, like you can kind of see it here. Yeah, something like this. You know, there's a lot of people. And they're all in front of the taco truck, and they see me eat the hot dog, and they start cheering. And then I take a bite, which Rachel caught on camera, or had someone catch on camera. Here it is. And everybody fucking starts saying glizzy. This is in the real world. Everybody starts, I just take one bite in the corner, and everyone's going, glizzy. Which is fucking crazy. There's a churro too. So that was an inauspicious start, but very fun. And then I posted up at the entrance and just started saying hey to people as they come in and shaking hands and signing things and taking pictures. And again, how do I say this? Obviously the glizzy thing is whatever. What I mean is I assumed when I was driving down, like everyone's going to be normal and fun, but there's going to be a few people who are, I don't know, going to take it too far or, I don't know, harass me in some way. And it wasn't going to be a problem, but I was like, all right, I just got to be ready. I got to be ready. I promise you, everyone was chill. Every single person there was chill. They were all so nice. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I'll talk about this later, but this is a very motivating weekend for me. It was very, very, very motivating. And I don't know how to say that in a better way. It just it reminded me of all of the weird good parts of whatever this is. And how incredibly rare and lucky it is it all came together. So it was really cool. Everyone was super nice and given really how easy most of this is to do for me. It was cool that so many people like it. I don't know. It was cool. So anyway, it's a great community. I'm very, very, very happy. And it's very motivating. I talked to my editors and everyone. We're hitting the ground running. Starting tomorrow, we have a big meeting. From now till the end of the year, I think is the idea. We really want to grind. I don't think I have any travel coming up. So very, very motivating. So anyway, we do that. We go inside. It's time for everything to start. The concert finally starts. And again, I don't know what's going to happen. They get up there. And what I want to say is everyone that performed, dude, I'm not sure the exact stats, but I assume that 90% of them haven't performed on stage before. And they were all fucking awesome. And that is so, it takes such bravery. Do you know what I'm saying? So you got to be so fucking brave to get up on stage with this crowd of people and thousands of people walking on the line and just and have energy with it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go up there and they weren't quiet or they fucking gave a performance. I don't know. Yeah, it was fucking cool. Yeah, RDC, dude, RDC was rapping like he's been a professional for 20 years. It was fucking sick. So yeah, it was awesome. So, but anyway, what I wanted to show you is this moment, right? So this moment right here. I think it was right here. It was during Atrioc Lily, okay? Is this? Subscription. You don't know much, but I heard it can be hard. Yeah, I think it was this one, where he says Ponzi scheme. I think. You refuse. We stayed for a while. Have you your pussy finger? Let me hear you. Nothing can stop you. Shed the Ponzi scheme iceberg. Okay. So I was like right here. I was like right near the front, and people started jumping around me when he, and it was, I teleported out of my brain. I'm not kidding. I've never had that experience. It was the most surreal, insane, strange feeling that I had. It was wild. You flip them off the whole time. Yeah, I did do I did do middle fingers the whole song. So it was wild. It was really, really cool, and I really enjoyed it. Anyway, the entire performance, the whole time through, there was many, many incredible performances. I just skipped ahead randomly, but there's Griever. I mean, what a fucking goat, dude. Dude flew from Europe, had like 3 hours of sleep, was on 15 hours of rehearsal, rocked out like a professional. We also had chat on screen. We could see chat. Chat was cool too. Chat was getting into it. I don't know. Everyone was awesome. I fucking enjoyed the hell out of it. Really good show. And I'm trying to think of what else. So I could go through and fucking show so many clips and just think. I mean, Pay the musician got up there solo dolo by himself and did an acoustic performance of Story of a Samurai. Like that, I was beautiful. Shit was beautiful. Here's Frogman.
Tell me all the quiet parts aloud. It's isolation in a crowd.
And then like the audio on the stream was so good, which is shocking because it's nearly impossible to do that on a live show venue they haven't been to before, and they did such a good job. So I don't want to glaze too much. I was super impressed. It was awesome. I thought it would be 100 times more scuffed, and I would have been fine with that. So I was really impressed, and to me it was very heartwarming and feel good. And again, to be surrounded by people that are so nice and like what you do and are all on the same page working on something cool. It was just awesome. It was a really good experience. So thank you for letting me be a small part of that. And I kept saying, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but what I said when I was on stage, and I was very briefly part of the whole thing, was I truly believe that like in 10 years or whatever, eventually I'm going to be just working at an office. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to work at an office. I'm going to be doing something for, and it's just funny because I know that nobody will believe me. Nobody will ever. They just won't. And even if they like humor me, they won't believe that this actually happened. And that to me was really special. That was a very special feeling. It was like, it felt like this was a moment that I was so glad Rachel was there. And my real life friend from a long time ago, Min, who lives in San Diego. You guys maybe saw him in the Scooby-Doo react we did a long time ago. He showed up, gave me a big hug, and was like, this is fucking crazy. But I was glad they were there because I don't think I could ever explain it to anybody. Yeah, it was wild. So anyway, that was it. It was cool. It was really, really awesome. And then afterwards, I got to meet everybody that was there. And again, what's funny is like everyone in the crowd was great. They're all nice. But like some of these people are just like, some of our Marketing Monday Andes. I don't know that everyone there, when I was talking to them, fully knew what they were getting into. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they knew it was that's why it was funny. I don't know. It was just such an interesting, it was cool. It was cool. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, afterwards, I want to tell you the part of the story that goes crazy is after they gave me some gifts too. I'll have to bring them up. For next stream, but they gave me an actual coffee cow. Before it's somewhere around here. Yeah, right here.
Certificate is from Build-A-Bear Workshop.
An actual coffee cow, which is really cool. That moves when you press it. This is the part of the stream when Hudat and Evan Gow came out in cult robes, revealed themselves, pulled me on stage, and then turned on balloons for me to play balloons while they did the Pop-a-thon songs. And then, of course, it closed with Drop Spindle singing Stupid Streamer, which is probably, again, as I told her, the most, like, surprised, authentic laugh. Do you know what I never had, usually when I'm laughing, it's because I'm primed to laugh. I know that something's funny is going to come. That is, like, the most true, that's like a real true, deeply authentic surprise moment on this stream where she made that song, and it like
I've heard it.
Why does he keep talking about chimps? Did I just say the wrong words? You must not know that.
And then when they said stupid streamer, you know, he's an idiot. They're all, people in the front row are all pointing at me while I play balloons badly. It's like, you can't see it, but that was pretty fucking surreal. Yeah, just wild stuff. It's just god awful defense. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard to play. Also worth saying for people that really noticed the gameplay, it was a laptop with no mouse, and the mouse, the pad didn't have a scroll wheel, so I was trying to. So I was trying to play on a fucking. Couldn't even beat Workshop Chimps. Yeah, that was their idea, by the way. They wanted me. I switched it to Easy Meadow because, like, I can't play on that fucking laptop, and they wanted me to play on Workshop Chimps. Bro, I couldn't even place 3 dart monkeys. So that was cool. It was just really, really fucking cool. And I think the people performing all had a good time. They, you know, I thought some of them might have been more nervous. I don't know. They all just did a good job. So anyway, that's it. I'm not going to belabor it. It was just a really cool, beautiful moment. I thanked everyone that came or watched online or was part of it. It was really cool. Very special. But anyway, afterwards, they're planning to all go to Denny's. We were going to go to Chili's, but Chili's was closed. So we go to Denny's for a little after performance. Everyone eats food and talks about the show and all that, right? Go to Denny's. And so I am driving back to Los Angeles the same night, and I'm already tired because I've been jumping up and down and screaming the songs the whole time. Oh, wait, I actually got a part. I got a part you got to see. If you want to see something fucking surreal, somebody sent me this video. Where is it? Someone sent me a video of me in the crowd. Wait. I have to find it. Oh, no. Does anyone from the community have that video? Damn, they sent it to me. I don't know where I put it. It's me singing the Coffee Cow song. Headbanging. Oh, no. Where the fuck is that song? No fucking way. I don't. Someone's gonna find it. Dude, I should have put a note on this. Wait. Maybe this is it? No. All right, well, if we find it. I'll have to bring it back. No, I can't find it. It's lost me. Oh, Descriptivist linked me, but it's a Discord. That's not going to work, right? Is that going to work? Oh, this is it. Okay, wait. Look at this. Look at this. crazy. That's crazy. That shit is crazy. That's so crazy, bro. Indescribable. So anyway, that's the video. Yeah, my one thing I said to myself going into it was like, I am gonna lean into it. At no point am I gonna try to be too cool for this, dude. This is like the coolest thing people are doing for the community. I'm just gonna lean. 0 point was like, I'm gonna not be a part of it. So I was all in, dude. I was front row. I was headbanging. I was jumping up and down. I went on stage. Oh, dude, I forgot. So halfway through the show, Braden Carlisle brings me on stage for a magic show, and worth watching, worth checking out. He puts a fucking card in my mouth, goes in for a kiss, and like switches the cards. I don't know how the fuck he did that. And then he also stole my wallet and my watch. Stole my wallet and my fucking watch. This is a fucking double clasp. That's hard to steal. Made that part of the show. Some Now You See Me type beat. So he was also super nice, Braden. And I talked afterwards. He was really cool. He was just trying to get paid. So it all goes well. All goes well, right? It's all over. We go to the Denny's. I drop Who Dat and Neg Neg off because I decided I also have to take Rachel back. Me and Rachel are going back to LA that night. And it's already like, midnight, 1 a.m. or whatever. We got to go back. And I got a 2.5 hour drive. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to call it here. Goodbye to everybody. I'm going to drop Who Dat and Neg Neg off at the Denny's. And then we're going to start driving. We drop them off. We start driving. I find out later that they didn't end up going to Denny's. They went to an Airbnb and ordered food, which means I just left Who Dat and Neg Neg by themselves at a Denny's. I'm not sorry, not Neg Neg. Sorry. Who Dat and Evan Gao. Sorry, Who Dat and Evan Gao. I just left them at a Denny's by themselves, which is a bit cringe because I don't think they were in the group chat. So they didn't even know that everything was going to the... I kind of cooked them on food twice. Twice I cooked Who Dat and Evan Gao on food, which I do apologize for. Do kind of feel bad about that. But anyway, we start driving. And we're driving back. And again, I'm kind of riding this crazy high. I will say, this whole weekend I've been kind of riding this crazy high. It was very, very fun. Motivating, invigorating moments. And it was like very cool. So I'm jazzed up. And Rachel and I are driving back. We have a 2.5 hour journey ahead of us. And we're talking about the show. And it's like how crazy that was. And she's giving me her experience as someone who doesn't know fucking all the Coffee Cow lyrics or whatever. And she had a good time. She was talking to Adish a lot. Adish was super nice. I finally got to meet Adish in person. I thought... I was going to have to like kill him and rob him because he's been taking so much money from me, but turns out he was really nice. I met Ludsy. Ludsy was super nice. Everybody, everyone you think is nice from the community, it turns out they are nice. And so I met Librarian. Wait, I didn't even mention that part. He's in chat. I met Librarian in person. I got to meet Librarian, unmask the Librarian. Librarian was there in attendance. So I got to meet the librarian. And it was funny. So there was like people asking for pictures, right? They were all like in like a line asking for pictures. And he was asking for a picture and he's coming up. And I don't know how it came about. I think Evan Gao knew who he was. So Evan Gao was near us and was like talking to him. They had connected or something. And then he was like, yeah, librarian. I was like, wait, you're librarian? And then I took his phone and I tossed it away onto a couch. And I said, I want a picture with you, bro. And then so I took the photo with my phone and then I tweeted it. I made sure he was okay with it before I tweeted it. But I did toss his phone away. And I got a photo with librarian. I got this great photo of him closing his eyes. His wife was just off camera. Yeah, this is the guy with the wife. His wife was just off camera. You didn't see her, but she was there for sure. And so it was cool to meet him. He was really nice. He kept telling me, actually he has it here. Dude. Okay, I'm going to get real for a second. I'm going to get real, librarian, only because I love you. Okay? Librarian kept pulling me aside from everyone else to tell me to react to Dota 2 tournaments. He kept telling me, okay, like, you need to watch True Sight's documentary. And you know those punch streams you did with Counter-Strike? We should do that for Dota. Okay? And it's, first of all, that's fine. I'm very happy to meet Librarian. He's an awesome, funny guy. So I tell him, yeah, bro, this would be awesome. I would love to do it. I'm down. I even tell him, I don't know much about Dota, but I remember when Dendy did the fucking Pudge teleport hooks. You know, I'm trying to show that I know a little bit about TI. He brushes me off. When I say that, he goes, yeah, everybody knows that. He literally hand waves it, and then starts telling me specific details of this documentary. I'm like, if you want me to watch it, why are you spoiling it? He goes like, you know No Tail, right? And I go, no, I don't know No Tail. And he's like, well, let me tell you about how he started. He starts telling me like No Tail's early life and how he built a team and I'm like, is this... Obviously, I can't internalize it. I'm like trying to understand it, but I can't internalize. We're like a crowded, there's people all around us. That was crazy. Anyway, I was getting mogged, obviously. He's knowledge dumping on me. I will do it, by the way. I'm totally down. Anyway, that was a very funny, I didn't take notes. Yeah, I didn't take notes. It was, anyway, still a very fun experience. Very glad to have met him. So all that happened, right? And then I'm leaving. I think I've covered all the things I wanted to say about the events. It was just, everyone was nice. I'm trying to think of anything specific. Outside of I was into it the whole time. The only time I really had an out-of-body experience was the Atrioc Lily, where I was like, what the hell is going on? So I dropped off at Denny's. I'm driving back with Rachel, and we're talking about how everything happened. We're talking about the craziness of it, and we're also continuing our conversation from the ride down, just some deep shit. And at one point, I'm telling Rachel, you know, some shit about like life that I'm like working through and thinking on. You know, I'm like, we're having a deep conversation. I'm like and like in the middle of it, we hear a helicopter, and it's like it's getting louder and louder. And I'm like, and she's like, what's that? And I have no idea. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just still talking. I'm like, why are you even interrupting me? I'm telling you something serious. And then we hear, boom! The back right tire of my car explodes at 1 a.m. on the freeway. Just explodes, bro. Boom! So, again, by the way, when I got in the car and I started driving, I was already so tired because it's the full day. We did this full day. So the tire pops, and I don't even know that it's popped yet. I mean, I know that I heard a big sound, but I haven't had a tire pop ever in my life. I don't know exactly what happened. And you could just feel the car's a little different, sitting a little different, but it's still rolling. I'm still driving down the freeway. I'm still doing 60. You know what? I'm still going down. And then she's like, what was that? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you think the tire popped? And she's like, I don't know. And so then my auto lock brake starts going on. It's like blinking. And I'm like, I better fucking pull over. Oh yeah. And then we get a big wave of burnt rubber. Then we get a huge wave of burnt rubber smell. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the tire. That's the fucking tire. So I start pulling over, but I don't want to pull over in the pitch dark. There's not even like a lot of lights in the middle of the freeway. So I'm like trying to get to an exit. So we drive another mile on 3 tires. And my auto brake is blinking. Anyway, I finally, I get to an exit and I pull over and get off on the side of the road onto the gravel. And I get out of the car and I look at it and it's this. I got a picture for you. Dude, it's fucking bad. That shit is gone. Been just fucking running that shit. Anyway, we're driving on rims, baby. It's like Fast and the Furious, bro. So I call AAA and I'm like, hey, I know it's fucking super late at night in the middle of nowhere. I need help. I need a new tire. I have a spare. Thank God I have a spare. I check. I have a spare. Thank God. Okay. Because they say if you don't have a spare, it's a guaranteed tow. You can get your car tomorrow. So I got a spare and they give me the little app and they're like, all right, we're on our way. We'll come and help change you out your spare. We have the jack and everything. And it says estimated time of arrival, fucking 84 minutes. Like, it's just me and Rachel sitting there on the side of the road. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. Cause we're already so tired. Like and we're barely out of San Diego. There's still a long, change the spare. I don't have a jack. I'm not going to fucking change the spare. No. You have to jack it up. Just lift it. Dude, I'm not lifting it. I'm absolutely not lifting it. No. There's no jack. It was just a spare. All right. I checked the whole fucking thing. There's no jack. It was just a spare. And so this guy comes out. He inspected it too. All right. And he brought his own industrial heavy duty fucking jack. By the way, I want to say the time it said that ended up not being true. Thank fucking Christ. I was sitting there just kind of miserable because I was like, I still got to drive. It's so tired. I'm probably going to have to get an Uber, a 2-hour Uber back to LA and then come back and get my car. I thought it was going to be whatever. Okay. I thought it was going to be fucking miserable, but it was like a worst case estimate. He gets there in like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Not so bad. Industrial jacks up the car, switches out the thing. No big deal. It's great. Okay. But then he tells me when you're driving away, hey, this spare, don't go over 50 miles per hour. And he's like, how much longer do you have to drive? And I was like, I got like another 100 miles. I got another 100 miles to LA. And he's like, that's like right on the edge of what I would recommend. Yeah. He's like, don't go too fast. Just get home, whatever. Right. So I'm like, okay, that doesn't help. So now I have to drive 50 miles per hour in the dark, which makes the time way fucking slower. So I'm the guy in the far right lane going old person speed. I'm going old person speed the whole way. So people are honking at me and flashing their lights at me. Rachel can confirm. They kept coming up behind me and going, flashing lights and honk, going. I'm driving like an unk the whole fucking way back. And I can't go past 50. So it takes way longer. So we don't get home, I don't know, till super fucking late. Finally get back on the spare. No hazards. No, I'm not putting the hazards on going 50 the whole way. Also, I'll say this. Even when I was sitting on the side of the road in the dark, in the actual dark, under no light, I tried to turn off the hazards because the blinking sound was too annoying for me. And Rachel was like, what the fuck are you doing? It kept going. I was like, what the fuck? This is so annoying. All right. Anyway, it do be kind of annoying, right? So anyway, I got back, dropped Rachel off. She went home. Go in the house, relax, just think about the whole fucking crazy experience. And I survived. The whole point is I survived. All right, we survived. We made it out. And that was the journey of San Diego and the show and the popathon of the tire. Did you need a new rim? No, thank God, dude. Same thing. So today I got new tires, and I was like, bro, I think this thing's beat to shit. Do I need a new rim or just new tires? And he looked at it. And he's like, no, you're good. Fucking thank God, dude. Thank fucking God. Honda. That's what the moral of the story is, that Honda is fucking awesome. Let's go, Honda. And yeah, I replaced it. It wasn't even that expensive. It was a local guy, and he was awesome. He was fucking sick. He helped everything. It was all good, great. So I'm good. I'm back in action. Everything repaired. Moral of the story: never let me and Evan in your car, or we will sabotage it. Yeah, you know what? I cannot put this past Evan Gow. Very strange how my car, which isn't even that old, there's not that many miles on it, had a tire pop the second Evan Gow got in. So strange. He rides in my car, all of a sudden that shit's blowing up on the freeway. So strange. But very true. I do want to say, I'm not trying to put all their business out there, but also, like, they're kind of content people too. I want to talk about Evan Gow and Who Dat real quick, because I think they might be relatable to some of you, which is that they're like young people in their 20s who are, you know, at the point of right now looking for jobs, and they're both experiencing how fucking difficult it is right now, dude. All I'm saying is, like, it is not easy. And I heard that from other people that I was talking to. It's just, I want you to understand that, and this is like a very small consolation, but you're not alone and you're not crazy. It's happening. Fucking Evan Gow, just to give him some props specifically, has a comp sci degree from Berkeley. If he had graduated in 2021 with the exact same things he's done, no internships or whatever, it would be so easy. He would have fucking got snapped up in a second and made good salary. Like, it is so much more difficult right now. And if you are experiencing that, I just hate the gaslighting. Dude, I saw another fucking article today that was like, I saved it. Where was it? It was, this one. This one. Here, I fucking saved it. What's wrong with the economy? It's you, not the data. That shit pissed me off. It just pissed me off. It's just like, stop fucking gaslighting people. People aren't suddenly crazy about their, frustrating me. So anyway, if you're dealing with that, just understand you're not alone, and people are going through it, and people that are good people, hardworking people, just likable, normal people that should be able to fucking get a job. Who Dat's thinking about working at fucking Amazon. So Who Dat, here's what I'm telling you. Who Dat, if you work at Amazon at a warehouse, you're going to hate it. I just want you to know you're going to fucking hate it. You got to turn that into content. You have to turn that into content. You need to come give status updates. You need to do like a Dr. Battle report on working at Amazon. I'll pay you for it. We'll put it on Marketing Monday. 100%. That would be a banger. Don't they take your phone and stuff though? Yeah, they probably do. I'm probably going to get him fired. But I don't know if you guys know this, but Amazon is literally running out of Americans to hire because everyone who would work there has tried and quit. They've burnt out so many people. Talk about millions of people. They are actually running out of people who would even consider Amazon as like they're. That's how much they've burned people out. They have insane churn. I heard the average churn is 4 days or something. Yeah, I quit so fast I didn't even bother telling my supervisor. No, legitimately. I think the average churn is 4 days. People start and then within 4 days they go, "Oh, this shit's not for me." This shit is not for me, and they leave. So we'll see. We will see. I mean, like I've told the story many times, it burnt my dad out, and my dad is like not that kind of guy. My dad's, 30 years military, kind of type A type dude that left a cushy job at Raytheon because he wanted to work harder. And then within, a few months at Amazon, had quit and begged for his old job back. Begged. It's just so funny. It's so funny. They made him work fucking Christmas night shift, dude. My old dad. That's wild. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic, but if I met you at the event, thank you for being so nice. If you worked at the event, thank you for, you didn't even, it wasn't even really about me. It was some really talented people who built a great friendship and collective. I was very lucky to be like a community where this could grow, a spark or whatever, but like it was all them. And just thank you for doing something so cool. Let me be part of it. Thank you for letting me be a part of it because it was really, really cool. And I kept saying, this is one joke. I don't even know if I stole it from chat. I might have stolen it from chat on the screen, but I kept saying it. As I was leaving and saying goodbye to everybody, I kept saying, Vegas Fear next year, baby. I kept, I'd dab somebody up and be like, next year, Vegas Fear. Kept doing that. So that's what I'm going to end with. Next year, we will do Vegas Sphere for sure. For sure. I just need to raise, I think, what is it, $500,000 for the, yeah, we'll just raise that up. You guys just keep priming, Oh, speaking of, if you're interested in supporting in any way, the Lehman Brothers crew necks are briefly in stock. I got a message from the merch guy. If you go to failedco's.co, I think there's maybe 300 of them. We can't, I can't print too many of these ahead of time. So if you do want one, failedco's.co, Lehman Brothers crew necks. We also added the green Enron hat. That's there forever, or at least, until we swatch it out with a different color. But yeah, one more time on that one. And we're thinking about, and somebody at the event had one already, like a custom made one already, a Nortel hat. We're thinking about a Nortel hat. So, maybe for Christmas or something. They have a fun logo. It should be cool. So just keeping you guys updated. Thanks for checking that stuff out. If you're interested, if you think it's something you'd wear and enjoy. That's it. I have a lot of marketing stuff to discuss. I have a presentation this week on OPEC and oil that we talked about last week. I got really, is it okay to say like autistically? I just fucking deep dived. All right, I got crazy deep. I learned a lot of, just like. A lot of it was today, bro. I was like fucking 6 hours in, just reading, and I even cracked out some old books I hadn't read in a while. So anyway, yeah, I was hyper focused, whatever it is. So I'm gonna do a presentation on that this week. I also have a wins and fails. I was gonna consider doing that today, but I have to tell you that Ari was not at this event. She was at a festival con thing. And gets back as of like now. Her flight was delayed and she's getting home very soon. And so I may not be able to do too much because I've not seen her in many days. However, I do want to watch some marketing type videos, and we can do that right now. I think we will do that right now. And I think they'll be very interesting, and I think we're going to learn something, and we're all going to get smarter, and it'll be fun. So anyway, that's the end on the concert stream. Super duper thank you. Any ideas that group ever has and they want to do, I will fund and support. And I know that's a terrible thing to clip. but they just have my trust over and over and over. Such talented, cool people. It worked out so well. I just feel very blessed to have them in the community, and whatever I can do to support that, I got to do, because man, that was cool. It's just so different, you know, like for what content I do, which is talking about business and marketing in the news and occasionally slamming my head in the wall in games. Like, just that's something I did want to say is that everybody I talked to had some random story that could have gone the other way that ended up with them here. And it was like, you think about who that made a D's Nuts joke. He's like probably a Ludwig viewer that came over to my chat and made a D's Nuts joke one time and got banned. And if I had timed him out or ignored it, his entire life would be different. Do you understand? Like, he got banned, so he made a funny meme, so it made, and now he's in a cult robe on stage that was one example. But like, there are so many of people telling me how, you know, the community hit at the right time in their life for them to do more than they thought they ever would for this. You know what I'm saying? And that was cool. It was very cool. And so, like, some of the people who probably never would have been up on stage doing a thing had just this random moment where maybe they connected with one piece of content one time, and then I don't know, it's cool. And by the way, a lot of them that were doing performance don't really watch as much as they used to, which is fine, because I've noticed the way that I watch content, I drift in and out. There's some times where I'm watching Levy every fucking day and I'm super into it, and then I go months without. It's just, that's how people actually live their life. They just have, you know, it hits at the right moment in your life and when you need it, and then sometimes you have other things you're busy. That's just that's how that shit goes, and I never ever expect more than that. I appreciate the brief times where you connect with talented people in there. So anyway, it's cool, and I like people that find something good about the community or my content. Okay, enough about that. I do want to watch this video about why men are leaving the workforce, because I think that's very interesting. Again, there's been this discussion on Twitter of everybody sharing their gender graph because Northern Lions was so bad. What was it, like 4%? Northern Lion like fucking, or 3%. I think we've got like, I think we have like 8 or 9 on the main channel and like 11 or 12 on the clips. Clips is a little higher. So ours is pretty good. But that's still like 90% men, right? And so, and given that it's a lot of men and most of them are in their late teens, probably like, let's just say 18 to 34. That's definitely where they are. That's like my entire audience is 18 to 34, mostly men, right? And this is where it's happening. This group of people are like getting fed up with either the job hunt or the workforce or the way society is structured. Okay? They're having more and more friction and issues with the way things are. And so I find it to be not just an interesting discussion, but like an important one. Like, we need to learn what the fuck's going on and try to find solutions quicker rather than later, because it's important. So this video, which I have not seen yet, so I don't know if it's going to actually give good discussion of this, is about that, and maybe we can learn something and talk about it. Why men are leaving the workforce. 2 days ago, 500,000 views.
Men have been steadily dropping out of the work.
All right, let's start over. Here we go.
Men have been steadily dropping out of the workforce, especially men aged 25 to 54, who are often considered to be in their prime working years. As of August 2024, 13.7% of prime-age men were not working, compared to just 7.2% in 1954.
The long-term decline in labor force participation by so-called prime age men is a tremendous worry for our society, for our economy, and probably also for our political system.
There's a surplus of prime age workers who could be working and aren't, and that's this puzzling problem.
The unemployment rate for prime
Right.
age working men
That
sat
is
at
the problem.
3.4% in August 2024. This number primarily includes those who are unemployed and looking for a job. But about 10.
Yeah, worth saying. I think they're going to cover right here, but like whenever you hear unemployment rate statistics, understand they only count people that are looking. So it's like if it says we have 4% unemployment, that's of people who are looking for a job in the past year and can't find one. But if you give up, if you're ever like, you know what, I'm just not looking, or if it takes you more than a year to find a job, then you are not counted in the unemployment rate, even though you are indeed unemployed. So, just worth noting. Additionally, not to get too into it, but one of the things we're finding about how this post 2020 cycle is undercounting some unemployed people is that a lot of people don't go for unemployment benefits anymore. They just do Uber because the benefits aren't that much. It's a pain in the ass, a lot of things to do. And so they just do a gig work job when they're between jobs. And it's leading to people being undercounted as like, they're still looking for an actual job.
0.5% of men in their prime working years, or roughly 6.8 million men nationwide, are neither working nor looking for employment, compared to just 2.5% in 1954.
What's surprising is it's not a COVID phenomenon, it's not a recession phenomenon.
And for every prime age man who is unemployed and looking for a job, there are more than 3, and some years 4, who are neither working nor looking for work.
That's
so
crazy.
What's driving men out of the workforce? And if left unchecked, what impact will it have on the U.S. economy? Nearly half of prime age men out of the workforce cited obsolete skills, lack of education and training.
Same trend not represented in women? That's a great question. I don't know. My understanding is it's more men. But what I'm coming into this discussion with is like what you hear from men about, I guess just more, I think this applies to women too, but you hear from men about disillusionment and difficulty finding career versus job. There's a problem with education where like the way education is done, which is more of like, you know, sit down, study, pay attention. Women are better at that. And so they're, at least recently, like the past few decades, have been succeeding more at especially colleges. And so it's making men more likely to just drop out. And again, another thing that you hear about, and again, I don't know the data on this, I'm just telling you like what you sort of, the picture you start to paint, is like there's a rise in these alternatives, which is like video games and porn. I don't know like a nicer way to say that, but like people are like, either I work this job that I hate or I fucking opt out and my alternatives are now playing a lot of video games and porn. And as the I mean, one thing that's clearly an issue right now, I just saw this. It was wild. It was someone on Reddit talking about how they started using character.ai as a joke, and now they like think of it as their girlfriend for real. Like, and it's not even like, they're not like, it's not like sexual chats. It's like they just really enjoy having someone respond and talk to them about their day every day. And like that stuff is only getting more, you know, that's spooky, right? That's, you know, it's people like clearly hunting for something that society is not providing. And so these quick fixes are stepping in to fill that gap.
Poor work record or security issues as a reason preventing them from work.
Education is a very important predictor of a prime age man's odds of being out of the labor force.
The big impacts are on the non-college educated groups on their ability to enter and stay in the labor market.
Men who are not college educated leave the workforce at higher rates than men who are. At the same time, fewer younger men have been enrolling in college over the past decade.
If you look at the geography of where the most prime age men out of the labor force are in particular, they tend to be in places that have experienced manufacturing declines. They used to graduate with a high school education and have good, stable jobs. They weren't glamorous jobs. They were, automobile factories, sometimes mines, other manufacturing jobs.
Right.
But they were respected, they were stable, and they could support a family. Since then, due to technology-driven growth, a little bit due to Chinese competition, you've had a lot of manufacturing.
Okay, well, don't downplay it. I mean, that's where all those jobs are. I just want you to know all those jobs are in China. I don't blame China. I blame the people that fucking offshored it. But, yeah, like since the 80s, we've been outsourcing our entire manufacturing base to essentially China. I mean, now it's going to other countries because of geopolitical tensions. But like, if you were between, let's say, 2000 and 2015, that 15 years, that was prime move manufacturing to China. But someone mentioned this in chat, and it's worth saying. That era, the jobs can't come back in the same way because of automation. So a lot of manufacturing is now starting to come back to America in some way. It's called nearshoring. They're putting it in America or they're putting it in Mexico or whatever. But they're doing it with robots. I mean, it doesn't take as many people. So it's a different era. But the way it was handled was obviously extremely short-sighted and greedy here.
Firms and the places where they were located that were one-horse towns become ghost lands, right?
Wages could also be a contributing factor. Median annual wages for men with a high school diploma have fallen from just over $57,600 in 1973 to $45,000 in 2023.
Okay, I was going to say, is this adjusted? Because if this is not adjusted, that's even worse. That's even fucking worse. That's crazy. But it is just for inflation. Okay.
Adjusted for inflation. At the same time, wages for those with a bachelor's degree or more have increased by about $6,300 during the same period. This decline in earnings led to a 44% growth in the exit rate of men without a college degree from the workforce between 1980 and 2019.
I think, honestly, status plays more of a role than wages. As I said before, you had a manufacturing job. It was respected. You were part of a community, breadwinner for your family. You had organizations like unions.
Unions! I think a union is a big part of this. I think just feeling like you're not completely at the fucking mercy of your employer in every way is mentally stabilizing. Feeling like you have some solidarity with your coworkers and that you can have some recourse when they try to fucking screw you is so powerful. I mean, I think the decline of union membership in America is a huge part of this. And good for her to mention that. Again, I don't know I can't zero in on the exact thing, but I think what she's saying has some merit where it's like, even if the wage decline isn't the same, it's like the stability and the feeling like it's a job that is doing something and then has a purpose matters to a lot of people.
There's a Rotary clubs that surrounded your job, and that's gone.
Married my boss, call that a workers' union. That's a good idea. What if we all just marry our bosses to get that sweet, sweet extra cash? Then you can't get fired. What if you could legally marry your company? What if you could legally wed the idea of Amazon? And then you have to take their last name. So you'd be John Amazon or whatever. But then you'd truly be part of the family. That could be something. Yeah, it could be branded Amazon. If you want to read a book where that is kind of like the premise, Jennifer Government is hilarious. Hilarious, insightful, good book. It's about a world where people take the last name of their corporation. And the main antagonist is John Nike, and he like kills kids to drive up the price of new sneakers. It's the very beginning. It's not really a spoiler. It's a great book. Jennifer Government. It's pretty short too. If you want to read it, it's very funny. It's funny that I feel like again, I'm not going to ever lie to you that I didn't have my like Sigma grind set era of my life. Because when I read that book first, I was like, he's almost the hero. I'll just be honest, I did. I thought I was like, damn, that guy's, he's like such a good fucking marketer. What a fucking, this is badass. And it's very, very funny that you sort of learn over time the dangers. Anyway, good book. Check it out.
In general, men without children are also less likely to participate in the workforce compared to men with children, especially men without education or training after high school.
What we have seen is a huge rise in the proportion of prime-age men who've never been married, and a very, very significant decline in the proportion who are currently married and have kids at home. And those two trends track closely with the big changes that we've seen about male attachment in the labor force. Correlation isn't always causation, but looking at that correspondence is real important, I think.
Meanwhile, 57% of the roughly 10% of men not looking for work said their physical or mental health was the main reason for not being employed, with 55% citing a disability, serious illness, and or receiving disability benefits.
The whole question about the health and the mental health of male workforce dropouts is an extremely important and I think concerning one. Distressing proportion of the men who are out of the workforce say they're using pain medications every day.
A 2017 research paper estimates that an increase in opioid prescription between 1999 to 2015 led to about 43% of the decline in men's labor force participation rate during...
Yeah, I mean, this is where you get into the really dark part where all of these, social ills are connected, right? They all tie in. And yeah, someone mentioned the Sackler family, but like they just profited off this. Like this is, they stepped in to fucking fill this gap of distress with poison. But yes, there's a lot of factors.
In that period.
So then you have to ask, what sort of pain are we talking about? Are we talking about physical pain? Are we talking about metaphysical pain? There's an enormous amount of depression, mental health challenges that men in this grouping face. Some of this is a chicken and egg question. Did you drop out because you were feeling sad? Or are you sad because you dropped out and you're living on the couch?
Unemployment is really terrible for people's well-being.
I can't answer the chicken and egg question, but I think we can all agree that it don't fucking help. It don't fucking help. Okay? And there's a pretty clear indication that as like the I don't know, societal pressure in that situation rises, the incidence of depression rise as well. So there's definitely a relation. It's so funny because you see the memes and it's like people going through this and they're like, all I need to do is a Zyn, a Monster Energy, and to lock in. It's like, it's so funny because you see those memes, but it's like, it's kind of a fucking cry for help, bro. This will save me. That was me for so long. Yeah. Give me 3 Bush Lights and I could do 10 hours at Amazon. What's NL's motivational speech? I don't know, but I do know the Galaxy Gas thing was pretty stuff. I feel like Galaxy Gas might be not the same. Maybe. Galaxy Gas is clearly hitting younger people, like late Gen Z, Gen Alpha, right? That's a whole different problem. That's like people not connecting with school.
Often people adapt to all kinds of negative shocks, losing a kid, being widowed, whatever, and eventually kind of come back. But long-term unemployment is one of the worst things in terms of that. So what you have is a kind of scarring effect, and it's worse for men because their identity is much more wrapped up in their role as a worker.
Men's declining.
So this is hard to do in front of a big audience, but this is one of the things I was talking about with Rachel in the car. It's one of the things I was trying to be like vulnerable about. We were talking about the differences in how men and women view work. And I mentioned one of the ways I felt, when I was on my hiatus from content in January or early 23. And it's like when you have a wife, which is already a blessing in itself, but like I would look at the YouTube income, and again, it's different because I have more of a cushion, so I'm not going to try and put myself in everyone's shoes here, but like my income was zero. Like the YouTube thing was zero, everything was zero, right? Everything dropped to zero, and you see the graph and it goes to zero. And I was thinking like, I would sit in bed at night and stare at the ceiling and feel fucking terrible. It would make me feel very, very, I don't know the right word, but like useless or what. It would just, it was, yeah, you just feel useless and you feel stupid and you feel, right. So, yeah. And so, it's, and that's with, again, a lot more of a cushion than most people. So what I'm saying is I can fully understand, like it's, and I think it is different for men. I just think it is. And I'm not, women have many unique challenges that are different, but I think there's a societal pressure on men to make some fucking money. And when you don't do it, or it's like you encounter challenges, a lot of which are out of your control, you just feel shittier. I think you feel shittier than in my experience women feel. It sucks. So I can see why that would cause people to like fucking want to drop out or quit or give up or cause it's oppressive. And then when you have something stable, there definitely is like a sense of purpose or something. It feels like you have something to do. Even when I got paid like absolute fucking shit at Twitch and I, 3/4 of my income went to a moldy apartment rent and a lot of the bosses were treating me bad. I felt I was happy as a clam because I felt like I had a team and you know what I'm saying? Like I totally think, yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Workforce participation can potentially leave a lasting impact on the American economy.
It means slower growth of the economy, obviously. It means bigger wealth gaps within our society.
It certainly will have an impact on our productivity and probably already is.
The U.S. has been experiencing a severe shortage in labor, still missing 1.7 million Americans from the workforce compared to February 2020. The McKinsey Global Institute estimates that U.S. GDP could have been $296 to $442 billion higher in 2023 if the country had been...
This is the biggest loss of all. No! We could have had $442 billion higher GDP numbers. Fuck! Get out there and work, you depressed people. Will somebody think of the GDP numbers? Just work harder. Put his upper deck is in. Get out there. We have to get these numbers up, dude. It's okay. We're going to go to orbit. Have an energy drink, please.
Able to fill its job vacancies. However, some experts suggest the impacts of men leaving or never entering the workforce could be more sector-specific.
You need young men coming in wanting to replace those people going out. And so if men have primarily been in more manual labor, more blue-skilled and skilled trades, if they're older and they're leaving into retirement and there's not as many young men coming in, both because of declining cohort sizes, but moving in a different direction type of careers, we're going to be losing that sector of productivity.
Despite a steep rise in federal funding, the infrastructure sector hasn't been able to find enough workers, with the construction workforce shortage surpassing 500,000 in 2024.
Well,
I did my part. Adish was a construction worker who quit to be my editor. We got him out, all right? One by one, we're going to get all the construction workers out of this fucking job they don't like, and they're going to become Clips channel editors. That's a true story. I did not know this till I met him. Adish worked construction. That's crazy. That's crazy. What a pivot, a career pivot. And now he's fucking the dopest editor. But we need construction workers? No. What do you think is more important to society? Construction workers who build and maintain the things we actually use, or people who edit clips of me talking about Mr. Beast? Think about that. Clips editors build America. Yes.
a little concerned about the impact that inflation is going to have and has had on the movement of infrastructure dollars into the actual productive activity. Having a shortage of men in construction is going to raise a problem.
The trend could have a dire sociopolitical impact as well.
It'll get worse in ways that we would not like. I mean, I think it would lead to more premature deaths, but it will also likely lead to radicalization and polarization, because this is a frustrated, left-behind group with no options.
There are problems that government can address.
Well, let's go into that a little bit, because that's a huge part of it. And if any of you are online, especially as a man, you've seen this, okay? To people, that's where it's all coming from, dude. That's where fucking and like, I don't agree with the ways they act out or the content that's created that supplies people or radicalizes people, but I agree that they have grievances that are real and likely being unheard, and they're searching for something, for a sense of community, for something. I love it when Andrew Tate labels me a failure and it's all my fault. You love that? Yeah. Andrew Tate's like the first wave of that kind of fucking radicalization, but there's so many layers and tiers of it now. There's so many content creators who are like vampires feeding off of the problems in this video. That you can see it for sure. There's so many creators that like have realized, maybe not even explicitly, they adapt to what gets views, but they're realizing like that these people exist, and they're feeding off them. Wait, what? I saw a family man, a wholesome family man on YouTube get fired from his forestry job. Now he posts about anarchy and how to destroy cops on TikTok. Okay. Yeah, well, that's an example. Okay. That's an example. I think people that would normally be pretty, I don't know, stable, happy, middle of the road people are radicalizing in either direction as a result of fucking economic problems. And we just don't talk enough about how it's like I think I've said this before, but I truly believe it. If housing was cheap and easy to get, dude, like, like 90% of online radicals on both sides of the aisle would disappear. I swear to God. I swear to God. I truly believe that in my heart. I think everything is downstream of people actually just feeling they can't get young people can't get a fucking house. And they're getting mad, and they're getting madder and madder and madder about it. Understandably. As a gal, it's really scary because they start angry and insecure and like they know they'll get rejected. Not exactly attracted to a person when they do, they lash out. No, this is 100% real. And I think men know this too, but they don't know how to stop. They don't know how to hide it. Like you see, I saw, it was like top of Reddit today. It was like the meme about, I'm a young man. I can't find a girlfriend and everyone I know can't find a girlfriend. And it's like, I don't know. It's a very vicious cycle. It's a very vicious cycle. And I do not blame women for not being like, I think it's funny that some people's response is to blame women. But it's, no, I think their response is pretty rational, but like they, you know, I think that men are searching for some reason why they can, figure it out. South Korea pilled. We're not quite there. We're not South Korea pilled. We're not South Korea pilled, but it's a problem. It's clearly a growing problem. Yeah, like again, we're getting off topic of the economics of it, but I agree with this, where it's like you know, without practice, people are bad at things. It's like so normal. And if people don't get practice, then they get more insecure, and then you know, time keeps marching forward, and then you don't have enough practice. Like this is actually just such a normal problem, but it's happening on such a big scale. Just keep watching Aiden Ross and you'll get there. That's the that's the takeaway. Yeah. That's the takeaway. It's okay to be awkward and bad and just be kind. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's what I'm trying to, I don't know. That's what I'm hoping we can kind of have a community oriented towards, which is the understanding that there's a different alternative if you encounter these problems than what is proposed elsewhere on the internet. But that's not like a perfect, you know, it's not a perfect solution, but it is a good model to take. And while still advocating for actually societal level change that could combat this, because it's not, there's like individual things you can and should do, but it's not on the individual. They can't possibly fight against these societal tides, you know? Like there's like just for example, and I'm not saying we're necessarily in, but if you're graduating into a recession, it's just harder. It's just fucking harder. There's things you're gonna have to do that other people didn't have to do. It's just harder. Try dumping chat once so they get some practice. No, I heard what Ali said earlier. I'm not trying to get you guys crazy at me. I don't want. I'll get a. Actually, I basically do. I actually am soft dumping chat every day when I fucking miss stream. I'm building toughness. You guys are getting tough. You guys are. Yeah, you've been perma ghosted. That's what young men need is more training on getting ghosted. That'll solve the problem. They just don't have enough times they've gotten ghosted. So it's yeah, I'm kind of a hero for that then. I know it's a cliche, but honestly, a lot of young men need to get real world hobbies. The thing I always used to say is like, especially when thinking about things you might want to work in or as a job. People are often chasing the idea of something that is always fun or that they really like. They think about the hobbies they really have fun doing. And in my experience, it's more about something that you can stomach the work of getting better at. If you don't hate the process of getting better at it, then you can get through the hurdles of sucking, of like being bad at something. And once you get good at something, it gives you a center. And I think a lot of people are looking for is a center. Some kind of like confidence or stability that comes with knowing I am good at this thing. Like this is something I am good at. Because it's very unmoored. It's like a ship on the ocean with it feels very adrift to not have something you feel confident in. So that's like the advice I try to give because I think it's true. I think just like, and it almost doesn't matter what it is. Just the experience of like taking the time and the effort to get good at something really helps, I think, with people's mental. I wouldn't say sports betting is a good example. Again, people, I guess it does matter a little bit what it is because people pick like sports betting and gambling and crypto investing, and they pick these things that I think, first of all, are very unlikely that you can actually even be good at. But yeah, I think those things. Says the league guy. Well, what's funny is I use video games as an example from this because even people that play video games, I don't think most of them have ever tried to actually get good at any one of them. And I'm not saying that judgmentally. It could be just for fun. But like, I just want you to understand that like, the ability, let's say you like, I don't know, fucking Rocket League or whatever. The ability to sit there and work on your mistakes and grind and like figure out I suck at this and get better to get to a high rank. It's not good in and of itself. It doesn't help you in life to be good at Rocket League. But if you can take a lesson from that and be like, oh, I sucked at this thing. I put in hours. I noticed my own flaws. I looked at better players than me. Like the process of getting good at something is helpful. So you can learn. I do think video games can teach that, but people often, I realize, just they only play them as a escape. But like someone in chat, getting good at CSGO taught me how to improve at things in general. It's true. If you take that lesson from the game, it's helpful. It's just if you only spend all of your hours in that game forever, it's not going to help. It's not. You're very unlikely to be pro, right? It's more about the process of learning, which is very real. And it's almost no different. Like everything in life can, if you approach it with the same structure of like, I'm just going to put in some hours every day, seriously try to get better. I'm going to look at people better than me. I'm going to ask questions. If you do that, you will get better at almost anything. You will. You may not be the ultimate talented Michael Jordan god or whatever, but you're going to get better. And, yeah. And the only thing I would say is there's a million Dark Souls essays on this. Someone mentioned that, but I don't think that Dark Souls quite does it. And I know that it's close. Dark Souls gives you it gives you like the lightest taste of it, but really only multiplayer games give you that because it's so adversarial. You have to be more honest about your own mistakes to get to a high rank in any video game. You just have to be. You have to go like fighting games are really great because it's usually 1v1. It's like, if you don't recognize where you suck, you won't get better. And realizing that's not a bad thing. I think people tie performance to their like natural ability or whatever too much. They're too much in their own head on if I'm not good at this quickly, then I suck. I'm bad and I have to avoid it. I think that's a really limiting mindset. And that's why it's hard to bring it all back, but like that's what's so fucking cool about the people in the community who did music. a lot of them had no or very little previous music experience. And they just took a leap, and they learned and they tried new things, and then they did this incredible performance. And it's like, that's so cool. They learned from people in the community who had some experience. I think that's awesome. So I want to like advocate for that, which is the idea that like, I don't know, try something, fail. Don't let that failure discourage you and get better. If you're interested, get better.
And problems that government can't address.
So one of the first functions that beats out policy is, economic growth. You have a strong economy, you're going to have increased wage structure, and it's going to bring people back into the market.
More than a quarter of prime age men not looking for work cited insufficient pay as a reason preventing them from work. And nearly half said competitive pay, salary, compensation, and/or bonuses was a very important factor when considering whether to enter or return to the workforce.
For the young, better training, skills training, some form of post-high school education. Encourage.
I don't even believe that it's half. I think it's got to be higher. But I mean, I'll fine, whatever. It's a survey. But yeah, this is not a shocker. People don't want to fucking work if they don't think the money's enough to live off of.
Whether to enter or return to the workforce.
For the young, better training, skills training.
It's like the meme about when you're doing a job interview and they're like, why do you want to work here? And you just want to scream for the fucking money. I have bills. I have rent. I got student loans. That's why I want to work here. I'm applying to fucking 50 jobs. I need a fucking job. But you can't say that.
Some form of post-high school education. Encouraging that. Maybe even subsidize.
I've always dreamed of moving boxes around a warehouse. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always had this crazy dream that one day someone would pay me to move boxes around a warehouse. And if you could make that dream come true, I'd do it for free, sir.
That. I think part of the youth mental health crisis has to do with what's next. What's AI going to do? What am I going to do? Are there any stable jobs? I can't afford college. All those questions all come together. And so models that help them kind of give them a jump start can be really effective ways of intervening. And there are actually now really promising programs in high schools which teach kids financial literacy. They teach them about equitable entrepreneurship. They teach them about how do you foster better mental health as part of the workplace. And
that is cool, and I wish it the best, and I think that's good. I mean, there's the talking point that like for a lot of people, I think it would be way more useful to learn in high school how to like apply for a loan and how to, than necessarily advanced algebra or whatever. But I think based on, sort of my experience in high school is you wouldn't pay attention either way. I wouldn't deeply care either way. But I do think it's a good idea. I think it's a good direction. Yeah, how credit cards work, like how to avoid financial scams, like things. They should just look at like what real world problems most high school graduates have to deal with, and like things they encounter. Like, I don't know how to fucking effectively pay taxes on time, how to, all that stuff. And also, whether or not you pay attention could be on the curriculum. Maybe make it more fucking interesting. Maybe put it in terms they can understand and in real world examples. People can surprise you. Make them all into skibbity videos. Yeah, great idea.
Seems to inspire kids to go on to college, right? Because they sort of see a pathway where they didn't see it before.
29% of men out of the labor force said that training and educational programs was another important factor in considering a return to the workforce.
Having the type of commitment from the employer to train and retain and offer upward mobility for workers, I think will be very important. Trying to figure out more about career pathways in the labor market and not just the...
I also want to mention just like the idea of somebody believing in you is like, in my experience, the deciding factor so often. Somebody just saying, yeah, I think you can do it is like shockingly important. And I remember specifically right after I graduated with pretty bad grades and a lot of League of Legends from ASU, and I was working for like no money at Team Liquid. And my dad was trying to get me to work at Costco, and I wouldn't even have been able to get in at Costco probably. And one of my friends, Lorenzo, who was one of my groomsmen at my wedding, I was just talking to him on the phone and kind of complaining or whatever. And we were just talking about, I don't even remember exactly the conversation, but we were talking about 10 years in the future. And he said, with no irony, no joke, no anything, he was like, yeah, in 10 years when you're working at Riot, or he said it like it was just a matter of fact. It was so, and I remember, I didn't say anything at the time, but I remember that motivated me so, I didn't make it to Riot or anything, but he said it and it was so motivating. It was so, because he just 100% believed that I would just do it. And I remember that was when I decided to drive across country. Like it gave me the motivation to be like, I'll take the leap. And I left my parents' house in Colorado and I drove to California. And like, I told him about that many years later, but he thought nothing of it. And like that little thing can matter a lot. That can matter a lot. And I know some people don't have fucking parents that'll give that or anything else, but be that for someone else for sure.
Education side. So how is it that someone moves from first job, next job to best job? How do we help people understand and navigate?
Nearly a quarter of working Americans said they weren't satisfied with their growth opportunities in the workplace, compared to other OECD countries that on average spend 0.1% of their GDP on training their workers. The US spent only 0.03% of their GDP on job training in 2022.
Older age groups, it's tougher. You're probably not going to get these guys to retrain, but there are a lot of programs that have largely been pioneered in the UK, much more than here. But
if they were pioneered in the UK, we don't fucking want them. Okay? Okay, lady? We don't want UK social programs here in the fucking America. They got their own fucking problems. It doesn't seem like they're fucking working. You're going to give every man some beans on toast and it'll solve their fucking problems? I don't think so. We don't want their language either. Well, it's kind of our language, really. You know what we need? Because men don't want handouts from the government. We need to invent a sports betting app called like Freedom Bet or Eagle Bet. And you can't lose. But your wins are capped. So it's like a monthly UBI paycheck that goes to all of these men, but they feel like they're winning the game. They're gambling and they're winning. So it's not a handout. It's because you made a really smart bet. It's genius. It's genius. It's like Social Security, but through a, yeah. Somehow they line up the bets so you're always, it's like a gambling app, but the odds are in your favor. So like when you do it, you make just enough money to where you're getting your monthly check.
Starting to pick up on them that literally just try and reboot community activities. They get these isolated people in despair out of their houses. It can make a difference.
Social programs like disability benefits spark contentious debate.
It's very controversial. People have very strong opinions about this. While we don't know why it is happening, we can be pretty clear that the social welfare programs are helping, and the disability programs are helping to finance this situation in a way that was never originally intended.
A 2018 analysis by the Joint Economic Committee found that 64% of prime-age men who aren't working were receiving some sort of government assistance.
So the one benefit that they rely heavily on is disability insurance. One, because they often are unable to work if they have a physical injury or high levels of addiction or whatever. But it also provides health insurance, which is huge.
Very much against the initial intentions of the founders of the program. They've ended up with a perverse situation that too often subsidizes or even incentivizes helplessness and long-term dependence. If we thought about a system in which we had a work-first principle where the incentives were for getting the training and then showing up at the job and then staying at the job,
I need to learn so much more about this before I give a nuanced take, but I will tell you my initial thoughts, which is like, in my mind, one of the reasons I'm such an advocate for something like a UBI type thing is that I think when you do all of these complicated government agencies and programs and means testing, I think, first of all, it can be demeaning for people having to go through all of these hoops and get all these phone calls and put out these faxes. And I think it would be so much easier if people had some sort of steady, reliable baseline amount that they can choose how to disperse without having to. I don't love all the. And then the second part of it is. Well, it's just healthcare in general, which needs to be fixed. I mean, that's such a colossal problem. But healthcare is not something that should be subject to. I mean, it's not even this now. It's not subject to market dynamics in the same way, because it is a fucking massive oligopoly cartel filled with blood-sucking middlemen. But because you cannot choose not to use healthcare, it does not work the same way as like whether or not I choose to buy Concord, you know. It's like, if I'm sick, I need the fucking medicine. We cannot use the same rules. It does not work. So, Dan, when you work in health insurance, yeah, I mean, I don't think you specifically are the devil, but health insurance is one of the worst creations, especially in America. It is a monstrous blood-sucking leech. Maybe you are the devil. Maybe this is a guy with red horns right now typing. It's terrible for people's lives in America. Yeah, so I think that's why I support it. But there's definitely some nuance to it that I'd love to learn more about. And again, there was a UBI test. I don't want to ignore it, from the OpenAI guy. What am I blanking on his name? Sam Altman. Sam Altman funded one, and that had pretty unappealing results. But again, this is one test, one example, but it didn't work as well as we may have expected. So, I'm just being honest, I got to look more into it, but in my mind, I think the complexity of it is such a problem. And also is in a way demeaning, and also puts people in situations where they have to like maintain a certain category to maintain the same level of benefits they've grown accustomed to. So, you know, worth looking more into it. But yeah, I mean, one of the easiest fixes of all would be healthcare system more like other countries, where it is government provided. My ex's job at Optum was to deny people their medication, but he was soulless, so he didn't have any issues. Bad breakup, I take it? I take it the breakup did not go well. I take it you are no longer on good terms with this ex of yours. Yeah, no, I do think the healthcare industrial complex in America is horrendous. It's such a, I mean, if you haven't seen that, they did a very funny South Park parody of going through it, but it's just such an obvious waste of everyone's time and money and resources to enrich useless middlemen. Just people that they aren't the care provider. They're not helping. It's so financialized and so fucked. It's clearly one of the biggest problems. Okay, let's finish out this video.
We'd be in a lot better place than we are today.
However, some experts remain doubtful about whether altering the benefits program will lead to meaningful results.
I think until we deal with the deeper problem of ill health, ill mental health, these guys aren't going to respond to incentives.
Everybody is responsible for their brothers. Everybody's responsible for their neighbors and their friends. And we ourselves as citizens can help to shine a spotlight on this. It shouldn't be America's invisible problem. And the more that we talk about it, the more that we pay attention to it, the closer we get to turning this around.
Good video. Good video and good discussion. I'm glad we went through it together. Poor shareholders got to feel bad for them, Sag. As an Aussie, what'd you say? As an Aussie? I really love our government. Is this the skibbity toilet TikTok or whatever? The tip your landlords, yes sir. Hey Big A, glad I just got back from San Diego. Glad I could perform for you and glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Thank you very much, Stone Ears. Thank you for the prime. Thank you for the 33 months. Was fucking awesome. Really, really fun Friday. It could be cool if the government had some sort of parody songs jobs program, right? Where everybody could make streamer parody songs for money. Because that seems like more, based on how fun and fulfilling that weekend was, it'd be better for everybody than what they were doing right now. Did you watch the new T1? There's a new T1 documentary? Did you see the Masayoshi-san and SoftBank piece in the FT this weekend? I did not. I absolutely would read it because I've been reading about Masayoshi-san lately. I found a quote from him. If you guys don't know who Masayoshi-san is, he's a Japanese billionaire who invested in WeWork and lost a bunch of money. Total maniac. Anyway, he has a quote that I'd like to share with you right now. This is a while ago. This is like in the peak of the maybe 2020, 2021 era. He lost $13 billion in 1 year by investing in stupid tech companies. And then his investors were like, hey, what the fuck? And he said this. Jesus Christ was also misunderstood. Unironically, he said this. He also said the Beatles were not popular when they first started. He compared his investing in fucking WeWork to being like the early Beatles. What an insane double down. I actually collected a bunch of billionaire quotes that I was going to use in Marketing Monday, but I cut it because we don't really need them for this one. So I'll show you some more. Another one comes from the Warren Buffett. I was going to say late great, but he's still alive. Barely. He's hanging on. Apparently, Warren Buffett, who is worth, he's like, top 10 rich people in the world. Tens, hundreds of billions of dollars. His daughter asked him for a $41,000 loan. Loan. Just a loan. She would pay it back. Just like low interest rate loan, no interest rate loan. To remodel her kitchen. And he told her, go to the bank like everyone else. So funny. That's so funny to me. That's how you stay rich? That's how you stay rich. That 41,000 could add up. What does she even do? I don't know her employment. I mean, he's part of that Bill Gates giving pledge, so I don't think he's going to leave her a ton of money. I mean, she'll definitely be a millionaire, but she won't be a billionaire is my understanding, which is fine. I think it's a good, smart thing to do. I think it would probably be terrible to bring a kid into the world and then tell them you're one of the richest people to ever fucking live in all of human history. Here's billions of dollars, never work, never do anything. I think that's fair. I do think in this case, when you have nearly infinite money and your daughter just wants a loan at a lower interest rate than the bank, it's not that crazy. but I also understand that, like, loaning family money is always dicey, because if they don't pay it back, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? That's the problem, is if they don't pay it back, what do you do? But also you have to understand that it's not like, you know, if you're the well-off brother in your family and you have a little bit more money and they're asking you and they don't pay you back, it's a problem. But if you're worth $100 billion, it's like, whether or not she pays it back means nothing. It means nothing to him. What do you do? Nothing. It has no impact. So interesting. Wait, I want to save this one, the Elon one. TSMC, we already talked about all this. We talked about all this. Dude, it's annoying sometimes. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but I did a clip on the chip war between America and China. And I forgot when I was doing that clip that I had already made a bunch of slides for that. And so they'll never get used. They'll never. I literally talked about this exact slide I was just, it's annoying. It's annoying that I have like all of these fucking slides, and the clip did well, but just frustrating. Use them now. I mean, it's the same thing. It's exactly what I talked about, just with pictures. Can we watch the LenaCon 60 Minutes interview? Actually, no. What we can do is, I think I'm going to end, unfortunately. I'm sorry, very short stream today, but I am back in a major way. By the way, we passed 6,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I have to say hi to my wife, who I haven't seen in days. And I also have to clean the house a bit because it's very messy. And she just got home and it's clean. And so I'm going to go spend time. I just wanted to see you guys tell some stories. I will be back tomorrow with a wins and fails. And then probably day after that, we're going to do the oil OPEC discussion, which I'm very excited to talk about. Along with much more stuff. I don't have travel. We're ramping up into high gear. A lot more content coming up. I'm going to play some game. We're doing a lot, okay? This is a promise I feel comfortable making because I really have nothing to pull me away. So thank you very much for watching. I will raid Travis Gafford. Yeah, Travis Gafford. He's going to say bad things about me, I'm sure. I just hung out with Travis yesterday. And every time I raid him, he tells he's like, oh, Atrioc didn't even respond to my DMs or whatever. So, I'm sure he'll have something about him. Anyway, Sevens, thank you very, very much for watching. Thanks for being part of the community, and I'll see you soon. Bye!